This is going to be your February 2019 general reading for the month of February. This is for Aries rising, Aries sun, Aries moon. And as usual, I am using the spiral deck for your general spread. And this month for clarifiers, I am using the Wildwood Tarot, which is a cute little deck. I've used this before on the channel, but not for a while. So I was torn between using one of two decks, but this is the one that won out for the month. This is quite the interesting reading, Aries. Okay, so I'll show you your original cards and then we'll get started as usual. Hope you guys are well, by the way. I'm kind of in a strange, weird mood today where I feel like I'm someplace else, literally. Like it's freezing cold and snowing outside, but for some reason it feels palpable like I'm somewhere near the ocean in this early springtime. It's really bizarre. I feel like I'm in a different reality right now. Feels good though. So, speaking of feeling good, this is your central experience for the month of February. You have the Six of Wands. Hey, don't eat my shoe. No. Drop it. Drop it. Thank you. Sorry. Your challenge is the Queen of Pentacles. I believe in the Aries readings for a long time now. You guys have had the Queen of Pentacles hovering in your readings. It makes me think maybe there's somebody that's been watching these that has a long-term love or friendship with someone like this. But anyway, this is your challenge for the month, is the Queen of Pentacles. What is helping you is the Nine of Wands. At the root of your being, you have justice. In the recent past, you have the Four of Swords. Your best possible outcome is the Eight of Cups. Coming up for you in the near future, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You right now are the Princess of Wands. In your surroundings, you have Temperance. Your hopes are for the Ten of Cups. That's a really nice hope for you to have. Your general outcome for February is the Empress. How good can you get? You have a really nice reading here. I'm going to deal with my dog for a second. I'll be right back. Hello. My dog just brought in an icicle from outside, so he's chewing on it on the floor. Even though it's probably going to melt all over the floor, I don't really care as long as he stays busy with something. So here we go. For your central experience for February, you have the Six of Wands with the Nine of Cups, which in this deck, the Nine of Cups is called generosity. What I'm getting is that you have a positive attitude and you're determined to reach your destination or your goal, or to win. You're feeling extremely successful or positive about what you can accomplish this month. It may be that you have a wish that you would like to see granted and you're willing to do the work. You're willing to strive towards this wish being fulfilled or this wish being granted to you. This could have to do with a relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be though, but it most definitely is something that is close to your heart or that matters a great deal to you emotionally. Something that would make you feel extremely fulfilled and happy to have granted. It can also be that you're feeling so exuberant and positive about what you're trying to do or what you are doing that you're taking a generous approach towards others where you want to grant their wishes. You want the best for everyone. Or this is the attitude that you're choosing to take this month. Come hell or high water, you're going to see your wish be fulfilled, and you're going to take the action steps that you need to in order to ensure this wish to be granted. It looks pretty good to me, you guys. Just in general, this is a positive attitude and believing in your abilities to succeed, and with generosity, kindness, and fulfillment, a sense of fulfillment. You're seeking fulfillment. So, this, as your challenge in February, you have the Queen of Pentacles, and with the, what is this? The Five of Cups. Normally, the Five of Cups is considered a negative card in most decks, but I like this version of it. It's very different from how it's normally portrayed. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a woman ecstatically dancing underneath starlight at night with glowing candles inside of the vessels. This is called ecstasy. It may be that you have had a prominent person in your life that you're interested in. This could be a woman or a man. Just because it's a queen doesn't mean that this is necessarily a woman. But this is someone, this is just one way of reading it. I'm going to get into it in different versions of this for people that don't have this going on, this specific story going on. So it does look as though you have an extremely important person in your life that you have very strong feelings for. Perhaps someone that you're in a relationship with, or someone that you've had a flame for a long time that may or may not be in a relationship with you. But it seems like an extremely important person to you. Someone who's extremely sensual, down to earth, grounded, in touch with their body, in touch with their wild nature. When I look at both of these cards together, I get someone who's fully in their own skin as far as their authentic, natural self. This is someone who is not self-conscious, someone who does what they feel driven to do. They follow their own instincts. Even though this person is very practical and down to earth, and possibly a very good business person, or someone who one of the important things to them is to have enough to be able to provide for themselves and other people, or to be able to create what they want in their life, and that takes resources. This is someone who manifests rather easily, or it's in their nature to do that. But this is, I'm getting, this is someone who is not meant to be tamed, isn't meant to be held down. This is someone who is a free spirit, who follows their own instincts. And I'm getting someone very much in touch with themselves, who knows who they are. They exude a certain level of confidence. This person is capable of being loyal or devoted to a relationship. I'm not getting that this is a flighty sort of person, but I am getting that they need to do what they need to do. And they need to express what they need to express. Something about this may be a challenge to you where it makes you wonder whether or not you can count on this person. Or it's almost like for somebody watching, this is threatening to you because it's foreign to you. You've never encountered anyone quite like this before. And so even though it actually makes you have extreme highs in your emotional body, this person makes you feel high, or makes you feel filled with passion and filled with inspiration. This is somebody who brings you to a certain level of excitement or passion that you've never really experienced before. It almost feels like a spiritual experience, like a, nirvana or ecstasy. This person makes you feel ecstatic. You may have highs and lows with this, though. Sometimes you may not feel ecstatic, or what am I trying to say? Sometimes you may feel downright desolate or low, or you're not sure where your place is with all of this. And other times you feel extremely ecstatic and high about this person. You're having a hard time regulating your energy flows or your emotional flows because this person strikes such a chord in you. It's hard to explain it in English words. But if this rings true for you, then you know this already. You may hit actually moments of depression because of this. It almost feels like someone that's been brought to you in and out for a long time now that awakens certain parts of you that you want awakened more. But it also is unsettling at times. If this isn't a person, then this is saying you want to be grounded. You want to be completely in touch with yourself. You want to feel ecstatically alive. You want to feel as though you're being your total, authentic, ecstatic self. But there's some kind of highs and lows with this. At certain times this starts to wake up and you want it to stay, but then it leaves in a fleeting manner and it comes in and out. You're wanting to kind of pin this feeling down so that you can nurture it and create more of this feeling, but something about it is unsteady. Or you're hell-bent on creating something for yourself, and you feel extremely excited at times about this thing that you're trying to create or produce. This feels like an inspired song or piece of writing or art or something that you're trying to produce or create, where inspiration comes really strongly, but it's fleeting and it's hard for you to hold on to it long enough to actually do something with it. It's kind of, I'm getting a kind of feeling like, you know, when you have a really vivid dream and you wake up and you remember every single moment of the dream and it still lingers or stays with you, where you feel as if you're still in the dream, but just when you reach for a pen and paper to write the dream down, it starts to disappear. By the time you start writing it, you've already forgotten most of it. It's something kind of like that. So this is your challenge, is like fleeting, unstable inspiration, and you're wanting to ground it out or ground it into being, but it's a little bit hard to do that. But just hang on to the feeling as much as you possibly can, and allow yourself to have wild moments where you don't necessarily have any plans. Do something adventurous and out of the ordinary. That will help inspiration to come more frequently. So I'm just looking for the icicle. I think he ate the whole thing. So what is helping you? You have the Nine of Wands in with the Archer, which in this deck is number 7, which is supposed to be the Chariot, but in this it's an Archer. So what I'm getting, pure and simple here, is that what is helping you is to stand your ground and continue with what your intentions are and what your goals are, or what you're striving to do right now. Don't give up on your focus or your destination. It looks as though you will be successful with reaching your destination as long as you do what's helping you and continue to stay focused and dogged about finishing this off. This feels as though something that you have been working on or striving towards for a long time now. And you're almost completely done with reaching your target or reaching your mark. And so you can't give up now. You have to keep on believing in what you're doing. You're almost done. You're almost there. Stay positive, stay focused on your target and defend it from, I don't know where this is coming from, but any attacks coming from other people, whether it's verbal attacks or even imagined attacks, but don't get too overboard with that, you guys. I don't get that you're being attacked. I just feel that you need to be dogged and determined about finishing this thing up or producing this thing, whether it's a relationship or something that you're inspired to create or some kind of goal that you have that you've been striving towards. It says don't become discouraged. Keep up with it and stay focused. You're almost done, and defend what you are creating or producing. So, at your root, you have Justice with the 10 of Cups, which in this deck is called Happiness, and it's a waterfall with 10 cups in it. I'm getting a really nice feeling from this. I'm getting that you've put a lot of concentrated effort in staying calm and balanced with interacting with other people, or how you've been seeing things or trying to focus on seeing things. You feel really balanced to me. You feel really clear. You feel as though you're seeing things extremely clearly and calmly. And you're coming from a place of peace. You're feeling more peaceful than you have in a while, possibly. Or you're choosing to focus on being peaceful. And just being fair, looking at all sides of any situation, not being impartial, taking everybody's perspectives into consideration. But by walking your talk or being just or being clear and truthful about where you're at, but yet also positive and calm, you are drawing to yourself a wellspring of happiness and joy and good, fortunate things. You're noticing that things are speeding up in a really good way that makes you feel as if this isn't a fleeting thing. This will continue to fill up your cups. You can continue to expect things to feel this way. It's hard to describe the feeling that I'm getting, but it's kind of like walking through the forest where there's waterfalls and moss and hearing the birds sing and just feeling really content and alive, where everything is more vivid. You may be feeling as though things are more vivid than they have been. If you have felt as though you've been walking in a fog or a mist, or you haven't been quite feeling all that awake, all of a sudden you feel very awake and colors are popping and smells are very pungent. Everything seems to be coming alive. That's the feeling that I'm getting. I'm hoping that this is how you're feeling. If anything, this is what you want. And you're willing to do what it takes, which involves being clear-headed, positive, and calm in dealing with things. And also making a decision to follow this. So, okay. If you do happen to have any kind of court matters going on or any decisions made, it looks as if it's something that's good for everybody. Or it's, you're feeling more responsible for your own happiness and other people's happiness. Not that you can really be responsible for anyone else's happiness, But this is what you want to see flourish in your reality. And you're willing to really focus on that. What your mind focuses on the most is what ends up happening to you. And so this is where you're at. These are your intentions. In the recent past, speaking of dreams, some of you may have been having some pretty lucid dreams. If this is the case for some of you, they're dreams that have centered around the archetype of being at a crossroads or needing to make a choice. Do you go back or do you move forward? There's some kind of a big shift that's going on with your energy levels and also what you choose to manifest or create or choose. And because of this, you may have actually needed to rest a lot more than you usually do. You may have felt yourself getting more tired than you usually do, easily. And so hopefully you took your own advice and you did rest more. Or it could have been that you have had dreams about having to make a choice or being at a crossroads or needing to decide which direction to go in. Or something, you know that saying, sleep on it? If you have been torn and you've needed to make a choice on what to do next, hopefully you slept on it. And if you rested at the moments when you needed to, then your mind would have been clear enough to be able to eventually make a decision or know what to do. And this is where you've been. This is really interesting. It seems as though in your external reality, things are really good, but internally you're going through a really big shift right now. Or there are some hurdles that you have to jump over in your own being. So as your best possible outcome, you have the Eight of Cups. And simply put, this is just simply deciding to move forward in your life and releasing the past. This is the snake shedding its skin. This is the caterpillar building the cocoon and eventually coming out of it to become a butterfly. There's something about casting off the past. This could be past emotional attachments. This could be things that, this doesn't even have to be a past that's painful. Anyone's past is usually a combination of lots of different things, of blessings, of hardships, of sorrows, of joys, of all different things that we have experienced. But something about this, you've outgrown your old skin. And right now you're kind of in a vulnerable state where it's like when the new butterfly comes out of the cocoon, it needs to rest on a leaf and dry off first before it can even think about flying away, because it's still dewy and wet from being inside the cocoon. It's never unfolded its wings before. It's its first time doing it. And so sometimes it takes a little pause, or it takes a little moment to let your wings dry off and fully extend them before you can think about flying. But you're definitely thinking about flying. You're definitely thinking about, I don't know, trying something completely new, discovering what you're really capable of. But that does involve releasing the past, or releasing past attachments, or even past beliefs. You're moving into unknown territory. You've never experienced this before. And so there is no way of knowing. What you've known in the past isn't anything compared to this. So you can't even really approach it with what you have known already, because it's nothing like that. So your two cards to go with this is first challenge, which is the Two of Stones, Two of Pentacles. When I see this, I see you battling with yourself, or you in an internal struggle moment of trying to adjust. I feel as though you're trying to adjust. You're trying to reconcile different parts of yourself that have equal standing on what you I'm getting something about what you believe in or what you have been expecting all this time you have outgrown. And there's something about you, the old you and the new you, that is struggling with one another. And then you have number 13, which is death. But in this card, or in this deck, it's called the journey. This is total transformation. And yet again, you are shedding your old skin. You're releasing the past. You are no longer going to be the person that you were before, because you're transforming as your best possible outcome. I feel as though there is a renewed you that almost feels young or ecstatic. You feel more alive than you have in a while as your best possible outcome, but that does involve letting go. I'm getting something about letting go of ego. Not that your ego is a negative thing, but letting go to past attachments, whether it's beliefs that you've had or ways of seeing things, or your old existing structure is now coming to an end, and you need to embrace how you actually really feel about this. You may not be paying attention to how you feel, or you are, but it's multi-layered. It's not something that can be easily defined on how you're feeling these days. This may be one of the reasons on why you have such fluctuations going on as your challenge, is your actual body may be changing. You know, this is kind of reminding me of years ago in my right eye, I had a really bad astigmatism that made it hard for me to see, because it was like having a bubble of fog roll across my eyeball all the time, where things would get out of focus and then they would become in focus, and it fluctuated all the time. I used to be severely nearsighted, and then after I changed my diet and certain other things in my life had changed, 10 years later, I went to go get my eyeglasses redone with my prescription and getting a new set of glasses. My old pair had finally broken or something. And the eye doctor let me know that the astigmatism was completely gone and that my vision had actually improved. And so now my vision is actually a lot better than how it used to be. But it's not, it was just something that happened. Slowly over time from treating my body better, and just from being in different climates and different places too. But it's something kind of like that. It's like you thought things were a certain way, but they end up improving in a way that you didn't expect. But this is a weird fluctuation moment where your things are reforming. I keep on getting the analogy of a caterpillar. It feels as though not just are you mentally changing or emotionally changing, but you're physically changing. You may be changing for the better, where your body starts working better than it did before, or something. You feel more flexible than you did before. Something. It looks good to me, but there's something about this shift that's kind of erratic. And so you may not always know exactly what's going on. You just know that something's happening. And so in the near future, hopefully this is making sense, you guys. In the future, you have the Three of Stones, or the Three of Pentacles, with the Ace of Pentacles. Yep, two pentacles together. And this is interesting. If you look at the woman in the Three of Pentacles, she's holding on to the rocks behind her as if she is relieved. And completely rooted and relaxed. Completely at one with her environment. And so I feel as though with all of these other changes that are going on, it feels as if you're either perceiving your environment differently than before. Or perhaps you're exploring your environment more than before. Maybe you've been hiking more, or you've been discovering what lurks in the woods near where you live, or you've been wanting to explore different areas of your environment perhaps than before. Or you're wanting to get back in touch with nature, or with the land, or with trees. That aside, I feel as though coming up for you in the near future, you feel very at ease with your body, or you feel extremely grounded. And you may very well have already begun some kind of a new beginning with something that you're creating for yourself. And it looks as if it's continuing to grow, and coming up for you, you may even see more growth than you thought was going to happen in such a short period of time. I'm getting something about with this new way of seeing things or understanding things. It's not only bringing you a lot of fluctuations with your emotions in a good way, but it's bringing a new sense of being in tune with everything around you, being present in the moment, seeing what's out there, seeing what you've planted grow. There's some kind of a masterpiece or something that you've been wanting to create for a while and you've begun it. It looks as though it's happening rather rapidly or easily. Like I think of someone composing a song, or as in like writing down the sheet music, or someone writing a book, or writing a story, or telling a story, or doing something. And it's happening rather rapidly, easily, and naturally. And you will be able to produce this. You may be, if you are moving to a new location, it looks like an amazing location for you to be in. Wherever you were before, this looks so much better. You feel so much more yourself and in tune with where you are now than where you were before. And you may even be thinking about planting seeds in the spring for a possible garden, or building something outside, a tree house, something. Whatever it is that you're creating feels amazing to me. This is a really nice future for you to have. So you right now, you're most definitely doing things differently than before. And I feel as though, okay, first I'll tell you what these are. There's the Princess of Wands, and there's the Page of Stones, or the Page of Pentacles, which in this card is the Lynx. Both of these are pages. Both of these are young. Both of these are new experiences. One is a new experience of adventure or action, and the other one is, again, experimenting with your physical reality. Both of these can be thought of as messengers as well. I'm getting that you're feeling a lot more experimental, full of energy and creativity towards trying new methods or new ways of doing things. And there's some kind of a new opportunity that's being brought to you, but it's interesting. The lynx is a wildcat, obviously. They tend to be very stealthy and quiet when they're hunting. And then at the right opportune moment, they pounce. And lynx is also an animal that has a medicine that has to do with keeping secrets, or keeping things to oneself and trusting what you notice and paying attention to signals. So I'm getting something about an opportunity that's being brought your way. But first you need to observe and really trust what you perceive until you feel it's the right moment to pounce. There's something about this new opportunity that you need to be a little stealthy for. And by all means, if someone tells you a secret, keep it to yourself. If you have certain things that you're keeping to yourself until it's the right moment, that is perfectly fine for you to do that. It's a strategy. It doesn't mean that you're being dishonest. It means that you're remaining quiet about something until it's the right time. But either way, I see you as being brought messages. It may even be that someone else brings you an opportunity or brings you some knowledge that you needed before you actually take action on something. Interesting. Experimentation. So, in your surroundings, you have temperance with the 5 of Pentacles, which in this card is called endurance. Both of these are reminding me of a similar feeling of staying calm and holding out until the shift is over. Things are shifting for you on multiple levels. It may even be hard for you to really make sense out of it because so many different levels are changing right now. I'm getting that your conscious mind is changing and your subconscious mind is changing. Your entire being is changing at this time, and it may not. Trying to make sense out of it isn't going to help because there is no way of making sense out of it. It's something that you have to allow to happen. Whatever fluctuations that are going on right now, sometimes you may go through periods of depression that come out of the blue and you don't really understand why, because outwardly things seem to be doing really well for you. It's not that. It's a big change that's happening externally and mainly internally. I'm getting more internal than external. But in order to stay calm and positive, you need to stay calm and positive in your surroundings, to endure, to stay calm and positive, to blend, to allow things to flow, to not hang on to anything except for what you need. There's some kind of a struggle going on, but it doesn't feel like it's horrifically painful. It feels more like it's just simply a challenge, whether it's outside of you or inside of you. But it just says, concerning dealing with the outer world, stay calm, hunker down, wait until this passes. Not that this is a bad thing, but things are changing and it feels a little unsteady under your feet. So, and also realize this isn't going to be going on for forever. This is a temporary change. It feels like a massive transformation to me that is going to make you feel healthier than you did before. And healthier being physical, emotional, mental, more alive than you have. It's almost like you're waking up from a deep sleep, where perhaps before you were having a nightmare or confusing dreams, that where things from inside of you are welling up, and it may temporarily make you feel a little bit vulnerable. But this says you have beneficial forces looking out after you and guiding you, and to have faith that pretty soon this time will be over and you'll be able to fully release your skin from before. So interesting. Some of you may go through a situation in your environment where you feel as though you don't have enough. But it just says this will pass. So hang on to what you've got and continue to keep plugging away. Your hope. Where's this? Yeah, okay, got it. Your hope is for happiness and fulfillment. And you have 2 10 of Cups in here. Do you have any other repeats? This is the only repeat that you have. You're aiming for happiness. You're aiming for happiness. You have happiness within you at your root. As long as you stay calm and allow yourself to go through this process, but you're hoping that it will last or that it will stay. Your general outcome is the Empress. This is amazing. You will be successful. You will be successful as long as you don't give up and you stay focused on your wish coming true or feeling fulfilled, feeling generous, feeling as though there is nothing in the way from having your happiness. And this will manifest. I am getting something in here about needing to relinquish control. And I'm not saying that you are being controlling. This is like a feeling of security or control that comes from deep within yourself, and you may not have a rational reason on why this exists. It just, it feels as though you need some kind of steady ground, and something, because your ground is changing, it's making you feel a little unsteady. But this is saying that the rumblings that are happening or the changes that are happening deep within actually end up being able to bring more fruition, more abundance, and more creativity than before. You have a new manifestation or a new life that feels very, feels extremely fertile and creative and natural, where you're fully your natural self. If this does have to do with love, if you can allow this person to be what they are naturally without feeling as though there's something that you have to hang on to, if you allow them to just be, this person will stay and will feel comfortable with you. If this is you and you need to be your natural self, and yeah, if you need to be your natural self, you will be your natural self. You will be fully abundant and creative as your general outcome. With this, if this does have to do with love, you have the Ace of Cups, and you have the King of Wands, which in this is the Adder. I'm getting a lot of passion in here. The passion may be overwhelming for you at times. If this has to do with a relationship or a person, either you or both of you or this person is extremely passionate, or there are extreme passions awakened by this. And if this doesn't have to do with love or a person, there are intense passions being awakened in you. It's almost as if your Kundalini is coming awake, where you may even have hot flashes, have times where you just feel like you're bursting out of your skin, or you feel really hot, or you feel really restless or motivated. It's because there's a new feeling waking up in your heart. And you're feeling, this is a feeling that's hard to describe in words. You're waking up. Certain parts of you are waking up that perhaps you don't even remember them being awake like this before. As long as you follow your natural self, as long as you temper your passions, don't get too carried away, you guys. This almost looks like you could self-combust, like spontaneous combustion. Remember to cool off that fire with some of this water. The waters of your heart, the waters of purity, the waters of what truly makes you happy and feel content will naturally temper this passion where it doesn't consume you. And you can find just the right balance in order to have things grow properly and in their best timing. And you're about to experience a lot of expansion and growth because of this. It's a lot to try to adjust, but it feels really exciting to me. It feels really exciting. Happy February, you guys. So before I go, let me show you your two outcomes compared with one another. is it? What did you have up there? Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, your best possible outcome is to stop being at odds with yourself or with energy around you. Realize that there is no point in struggling. There's no point in struggling. You have to let go. You can't hang on any longer. You need to release so that you can embrace this new dream or new beginning or new reality. And once you can temper yourself where you don't have such extremes going on, it feels as though it's the kind of extremes that come along with extreme healing or with shedding an old skin. You can totally do this, you guys. If you temper yourself, you will be fruitful and you will be able to create what you want. So hopefully that helped. Happy February, you guys, and I will see you soon with your bonus readings if you would like to watch those. Take care. Bye.